looking forward to playing with your new toy.
I'm coming back.
Gone. I mean gone. No vector, nothing to track.
Like and subscribe may look simple to you, but for us, it's very valuable. So make sure to support us, and thank you for watching.
The movie starts with a breathtaking view of a spaceship named FTL. This spaceship is not just floating aimlessly in space, but is strategically positioned high above our home planet Earth. Inside this magnificent spaceship, we find our main character, an astronaut named Commander Ethan Kane. He's not just sitting idly. He's actively engaged in a conversation with the airbase located on Earth. The person at the airbase, who has the important job of closely monitoring the mission, checks in with Ethan to see if he's ready for the pre-flight check. This is a crucial step before any space mission can begin. Ethan responds with confidence. He assures the person at the airbase that everything is in order and that he's ready to disengage from the base and start the mission. Before he proceeds with the mission, Ethan takes a moment to look at a picture of his wife and son. He gazes at their smiling faces one last time before putting the picture away. This small act gives us a glimpse into Ethan's personal life and shows us that he's not just an astronaut, but also a loving husband and father. The scene then shifts to give us more context about who Ethan is. We learn that he's a NASA astronaut and a highly decorated pilot. He's someone who has dedicated his life to exploring the cosmos and pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. However, he recently decided to retire from active duty so he could spend more time with his beloved wife and young son. Just as he's getting used to his new routine, he's approached with an offer to fly one last mission. This mission is of great importance, but his wife is not happy about it. She's worried about his safety and whether he'll return home safely. Ethan, understanding her concerns, reassures her that he will be okay and promises that he will return. He tells her that he would not have agreed to the mission if he had any doubts about his safety. His wife, still worried, asks him to promise to return safely. They share a loving kiss, a silent promise between them that he will return. The scene takes us back to Commander Ethan, who drives the ship to the initiation point. This is the place where the advanced spacecraft, FTL, is ready to start its mission. The spacecraft disengages from the interlocks it was attached to, a sign that the mission is about to begin. This is a mission to test the first, faster-than-light spacecraft. This is a groundbreaking mission that could change the future of space exploration. Before launching, Ethan confirms one more time with the base that he's ready. The mission overseer, a woman named Susan, wishes him Godspeed. The ship FTL lights up like a star in the night sky and gets dragged into nothingness, disappearing from view. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Ethan's wife and son are anxiously watching the news about the mission. The reporter on the news states that the whole world is waiting for the test of the very first faster-than-light propulsion system. The spacecraft, named the Longshot, is the most advanced ever built. In it, Commander Kane will travel to Mars, a journey that, according to NASA, will take just over 3 minutes. Back on the spacecraft, Ethan is traveling through space towards Mars. The force he experiences is exceptionally strong, and we can see how challenging it is for him. Despite the difficulty, in less than a minute or two, the faster-than-light spaceship appears in the higher orbit of Mars. Ethan confirms his arrival at the base, and everyone there applauds in celebration. The mission seems to have gone well. Susan, the mission overseer, tells him that he can now proceed with the next phase of the mission. At the same time, back at Ethan's house, the news reporter announces the safe arrival and success of the mission. Commander Kane has arrived at his destination and is now the first man to travel faster than light. Ethan's wife smiles and thanks God for her husband's safety. Now back with Ethan, he will be launching an entangled satellite into orbit around Mars. This satellite will allow real-time communication between Earth and Mars. Colony 1. Once he completes this task smoothly, he asks Susan if they can do it again and bring him back to Earth before his family starts to miss him. Susan smiles and permits him to initiate the return sequence. The technicians in the room start the process, but when Ethan begins the spin-up process, he encounters issues with the interlock. The base noticed on their computers that the interlock did not connect properly, preventing the ship from spinning up. They run some diagnostics and ask Ethan to try an up and down sequence. However, when he does so, the dashboard system starts to glitch. Unexpectedly, Ethan is dragged back into space before he is ready. The base loses track of his departure. Soon, we see him traveling faster than the speed of light, but without control of the ship. The ship swerves left and right, unable to balance itself. Commander Ethan is panicking and tries trying to communicate with the base, repeatedly telling them he has lost control. He is being pulled towards a new vector, but the base cannot hear him due to the loss of communication. As he approaches light speed, he experiences massive stress and becomes so sick that he nearly passes out. Shortly after, he is thrown into a space where there is nothing but a huge circular thing consumed with a bright light source. The light reflects upon him. He wakes up in a blur and notices his surroundings. It is astonishing, terrifying, and confusing. He looks around and sees the light illuminating from a perfect circle in front of him. Meanwhile, at the base, they are struggling to find his location. The tech team is unable to find his vector, and therefore they cannot find any trace of the ship. Officially, they declare him a lost cause. Back at Ethan's house, his wife is terrified as she hears the news report stating the current situation. She learns that Commander Kane seems to have disappeared. The Longshot was ready to make the return voyage home, but something seems to have gone wrong. The reporter says they promise to continue following the story and provide updates on any new developments. Ethan's child asks his mom where his dad went, but she freezes, hearing her worries about her beloved husband manifest into reality. Back in space, Ethan is still inside the spaceship, waiting for a miracle to happen. He feels very hopeless as he stares into the nothingness and the bright light in front of him. The emptiness around him makes him feel lonely and sad. To comfort himself, he picks up the picture of his wife and son. As he looks at their smiling faces, tears start to fill his eyes. He remembers all the good times they had together and how happy they used to be. These flashbacks make him feel even sadder because he promised his wife he would come back, and now he is not sure if he can keep that promise. While Ethan is lost in his thoughts, he suddenly notices two big crystal-like things coming out of the bright light. These crystal things start to move towards the ship, FTL. The atmosphere inside the spaceship becomes very tense as Ethan watches them getting closer and closer. The windows of the spaceship start to crack because they cannot resist the powerful light from the crystals. Ethan thinks this might be his final moment, but something unexpected happens. Instead of being harmed, he starts to dissolve into nothingness. His body slowly disappears as if he is becoming invisible. Once he is fully gone, the two crystal-looking lights return to their source of light. 21 hours later, the scene shifts back to Earth. Ethan's wife is standing by the window, staring outside and longing for her husband's return. She looks very sad and worried. The news reporter is still on TV, talking about how the search for Commander Kane has continued for almost a day since his last communication. They mention that they have tried to contact the commander's family, but his wife has not responded to anyone. Back at the airbase, Susan is still working hard and has not given up on finding Ethan. One tech guy is with her and they are both sitting down, looking tired. Susan tells the guy to go home for the day because there is nothing more he can do. Just as she says this, they receive some signals on the computers. These signals show different anomalies, which are unusual data patterns. The tech guy quickly shows the signals to Susan and they both head to check the visuals. To their surprise, they see the same two crystal-like lights traveling at an incredible speed. These lights enter Earth's orbit and Susan asks the tech guy to track them. Unfortunately, he says it is impossible to track them because they are moving too fast. The scene then moves to Ethan's house, where his wife and son hear a loud noise outside their yard. The kid runs outside, calling out for his dad, and his wife follows him. When they get outside, they see the two bright crystals merging into one electric wave. This wave brings out Commander Ethan. He looks exactly as he did in the spaceship, and we now understand that the lights saved his life by teleporting him back to Earth. Looking at the lights, they seem like the wings of a huge angel that flew Ethan back to Earth. Regardless of what they might be, the important thing is that Ethan is saved and has another chance to enjoy his retirement. He soon regains consciousness and walks towards his wife. She cannot believe it is him. She checks his body parts and faces to make sure it is truly Ethan. When she realizes it is him, she breaks down in his arms, holding him tightly and not wanting to let go. Their son also joins them, and the family embraces each other in a warm hug. But just before the movie ends, we see a tiny sparkling light inside Ethan's head. This light makes us wonder if he could be an alien or if the lights were something other than angel wings. However, what matters most is that Ethan is back with his family, safe and sound.
And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Watch other recaps on the screen. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.